Friends, please subscribe, like, and comment. This is very important to us. 10 signs you're being used. It's time to set boundaries, Stoic philosophy. You feel it, that heaviness in your soul after communicating with a certain person. A feeling of emptiness, slight nausea and annoyance, as if all the juices were sucked out of you and an empty shell was thrown away. You cannot clearly formulate it, but everything inside screams, "Something is wrong with me. I am being treated unfairly." Most likely this is true. You are being used. It is not always malicious intent. Sometimes people simply do not notice that they have crossed your line. They take the path of least resistance, and you have provided this path for them. But their intentions do not change the result. You are exhausted, irritated, and unhappy. The ancient Stoics, such as Marcus Aurelius and Epictetus, were not naive dreamers. They were practitioners. They understood human nature, including its dark sides. Their philosophy is not about how to escape from the world, but about how to build an inner fortress in it, an impregnable fortress of your personal boundaries. It's time for you to build such a fortress. And first, recognize the enemy by sight. Here are 10 signs that you are being used. Harshly, without ceremony. First, you say yes when everything inside screams no. This is the basis. You agree to help, go, do, listen. Not because you want to, but because you are afraid. Afraid to offend, to seem bad, to cause a conflict. Your actions are controlled by fear, not by your will. A Stoic would say, you have given the reins of your mood to another person. You are a slave to his opinion. This is unacceptable. Second, you are loved only when you need something from you. Pay attention to the rhythm of communication. A surge of activity always occurs with a request. Hi, how are you? Is just a prelude to could you please? After you have fulfilled the request, the person disappears again until the next need arises. You are a functional object, a human Swiss Army knife. You are valued for your usefulness, not for your essence. Third, your interests and time are not considered important. Your plans are easily ruined for the sake of another's momentary desires. Your sleep is interrupted by his urgent call. Your important project is postponed because he is in a bad mood. Your time is nothing. His time is everything. A Stoic values his time as the most non-renewable resource. Allowing someone to steal it with impunity is a crime against himself. Fourth, you constantly justify this person's behavior. He doesn't mean to be mean. She's going through a difficult period. He's just like that. This is your internal monologue. You waste mental energy trying to find an excuse for someone who doesn't even think about you. You are doing their job for them. The Stoic looks at the facts. The fact is that you feel bad. The fact is that your boundaries have been violated. The rest is unimportant. Fifth, you are ignored until help is needed. You write, call, try to keep a conversation going. In response, dry answers or silence. But as soon as this person reaches out to you, he expects immediate, full involvement. You're a backup airfield. An emergency phone number. His ignoring is a clear message. Trust him. 6. You feel guilty for refusing. You were handed an unwieldy suitcase. You try to return it politely, and they look at you reproachfully, as if you stole something. And you feel terrible. This is manipulation in its purest form. Your guilt is the hook on which you are held. The Stoic separates his actions from the reactions of others. His job is to say no politely. The other person's job is to somehow survive it. It is not your responsibility. 7. Relationships are a one-way street. You're always supportive. You're always helpful. You're always listening. Try to find yourself in a difficult situation and ask for help. You either not get it, or you'll be irritated, or you'll be reminded how you should. The balance is broken. The energy flows only in one direction, from you. 8. You are devalued. Your help is taken for granted, without gratitude. Your successes are met with a sour face or jealousy. Your problems are considered small and insignificant against the background of this person's real problems. You are systematically destroyed, so that you do not even think that you are worth something and can demand something. 9. You are constantly on edge around this person. Your body knows the truth before you do. Rapid heartbeat. Clenched jaw. Tension in the shoulders at the sight of his message. This is an instinctive reaction to danger. Your psyche is screaming at you. Beware! Predator. Don't ignore these signals. Trust your body. 10th. You are losing yourself. This is the main sign. You are starting to forget what you like, what you dream about, what you feel. All your thoughts revolve around this person. How not to anger him, how to please him, how to justify his actions. Your personality is blurring. You are no longer yourself. What to do? The philosophy of Stoicism in action. Have you recognized yourself? Good. The first step to a solution is awareness. Then comes action. Not emotional, but balanced. As a Stoic would do. Take inventory. Get a piece of paper. Write down honestly who is using you and how. No self-pity, no excuses for them. Just the facts. This is your enemy list. Marcus Aurelius said, "Our anxiety comes not from the things themselves, but from our judgments about them." Look at those judgments. Bring them to light. Take back control. Your most valuable assets are your opinions, your actions, and your desires. Don't let anyone control them. Epictetus said, "Put your own authority on everything that happens." You can look at it the way you want. Choose to look at the situation not as a victim, but as the master of your life. Start small. Say no, just once, in a small situation. Don't make excuses. Politely and firmly, "No, I can't do that." Prepare for the storm. Surprise, manipulation, anger. It's okay. This is resistance from a system that has lived off you for years. Endure it. Your fortress is built one brick at a time. Focus on what you can control. You can't control other people's feelings, their opinions, their reactions to your rejection. That's outside your fortress. Stop looking there. Focus on what's inside. Your decisions, your principles, your actions. Your peace of mind is more important than their comfort. Remember, some people will leave your life, and that's the price of your sanity. A Stoic accepts this with dignity. Not everyone who is near you deserves to be there. Your job is to guard your fortress, not provide a free place to sleep for anyone who wants it. Setting boundaries is not cruel. It is an act of self-respect. It is a statement to the world. I value myself too much to allow myself to be used. This is the core wisdom of Stoicism. Don't let external events and strangers destroy your inner world. Take responsibility for your life into your own hands. It's time to stop being convenient. It's time to become free. You took the first step. You recognize a problem. Perhaps you even said your first no. And now everything inside is burning. You are waiting for the earth to open up. This is normal. Your psyche has been living in threat mode for years. And now that you have fought back, it is in a panic. What have we done? Your inner voice, accustomed to slavery, screams. Stoicism is your anchor here. Your cold, emotionless, reliable anchor. Let's figure out what to do with this panic and how to act further. Step by step, without water. Step 6. Accept anger as a given. When you start refusing, people will rebel. They will accuse you of selfishness, callousness, betrayal. They will remind you of everything they have done for you, even though you have earned it 100 times. Their anger is not proof that you are wrong. It is proof that your new strategy is working. You have ceased to be a predictable resource, and this has caused a failure in the system that was parasitizing on you. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The best way to get revenge on an offender is not to be like him. Do not respond to anger with anger. Do not make excuses. Your calm is your strength. Simply state, I understand that you do not like this, but this is my decision." And that's it. You should not negotiate your boundaries. Step 7. Learn to distinguish a request from a demand. This is a key skill. Healthy relationships are built on requests. "Could you help me if you have time?" is a request. It can be answered with yes or no without consequences. A demand disguised as a request. "You have to help me because I did this for you / because we are friends / because otherwise it will be bad." A demand is always accompanied by a sense of duty and guilt. The only answer to a demand is no, always. Your new mantra, I have the right to my time and energy. Always. Without exceptions. Step 8. Find your own. While you're cutting off toxic connections, you may become lonely. This is dangerous. You can break down and return to your usual circle just to drown out the silence. Prepare a replacement in advance. Look for people who value you not for something, but simply because you exist, with whom you feel easy. After communicating with whom you feel a surge of strength and not devastation. This is your tribe. There may be one or two of them. This is already a victory. The Stoics highly valued true friendship, based on virtue and mutual respect, and not on benefit. Step 9. Practice self-worth every day. You've been told for years that your value is in your usefulness. You need to erase that mental record and write a new one. Your value is in your existence. You are valuable simply because you breathe, feel, and live. Do something every day that proves this to you personally. Tell yourself in the morning, my desires are important. My peace is valuable. Spend an hour on your hobby without feeling guilty. Buy yourself what you want, not what is practical. You are retraining your brain. This takes time. Step 10. Look ahead. Don't get stuck in the past, savoring grievances and wondering how you were used all this time. This is a useless waste of energy. Accept it as an experience and move on. Your strength is not in remembering the old evil, but in not allowing the new one. Focus on the life you want to create now. Fill it with people who respect you, things that make you happy, and the peace you deserve. Conclusion. This is not a fast track. This is a courageous path. You will stumble. Sometimes you will say yes where you should have said no. Sometimes you will reproach yourself for weakness. This is normal. The main thing is not to give in. Every time you defend your boundary, you send a powerful signal to the world and to yourself. I am the master of my life. My time, my energy, and my peace are inviolable. The philosophy of Stoicism is not about becoming an unfeeling rock. It is about finding an unshakable inner core, a core that cannot be broken by another person's opinion or manipulation. You're not just setting boundaries. You're giving yourself back. And that's the greatest victory of all. Start today, right now, with one small thing, with one polite but firm no. Your future self is already thanking you for it. You have already understood a lot. Perhaps you have even started to act. But the most difficult part is ahead. Maintaining the new rules of the game. The world will constantly test your boundaries for strength. As a Stoic warrior, you must be ready for these tests. Constantly. This is what an advanced level of self-improvement looks like in this vein. Step 11. Learn the language of manipulation. Manipulators are virtuosos of emotional pressure. They rarely ask directly. They use special techniques to make you say yes in spite of yourself. Get to know them by sight, hanging on a sense of guilt. I have done so much for you, and you can't do this little thing? The Stoics answer, I was grateful for your help then, but that doesn't mean I owe you forever. The offense game. Loud silence, sighs. The goal is to make you console and make amends with a non-existent offense. The Stoics answer, continue doing your own thing. Ignore the theater. Ultimatum, either you do as I say or we all will. Stoic response, I'm sorry you decided this way. I respect your choice. Remember, the one who gives an ultimatum is always ready to lose you, which means you have nothing to lose. Flattery is a bargaining chip. You're so smart/strong/kind, you can definitely handle it. No one else could. The goal is to catch you in your vanity. Stoic response, thank you for the compliment, but it doesn't change my decision. No, your job is not to play these games. To factor out the essence. You're asking me to do something I don't want to do. My answer is no. Everything else is just noise. Step 12. Develop a personal code. The Stoics live by strict internal principles. You need your own. Write them down on paper. These are your rules of war and peace. They will remove 99% of the anxiety when making decisions. For example, the time principle. I do not ruin my sleep, my weekends, or my time with loved ones for the sake of someone else's urgent matters. The energy principle. I end any conversation that leaves me feeling drained. The respect principle. I do not make excuses for people who regularly humiliate or devalue me. The truth principle: I do not do what I consider wrong, even under pressure. When a request or demand comes, you do not agonize over the choice. You simply check your code. It is your inner law, your shield. Step 13. Practice imagining the worst. Premeditatio malorum. This is a powerful Stoic technique. Before you defend your boundary, imagine the worst-case scenario. What will happen if I say no? Will the person yell at me? Stop communicating with me? Start throwing mud at me? Will I survive? Yes. Will it hurt? Yes, but not for long. Will I become freer? Absolutely. By living the worst-case scenario in advance, you remove the emotional burden from it. You come to the real situation prepared and calm. Fear loses its power over you. Step 14. Stop saving adults. We often allow ourselves to be taken advantage of under the guise of saving. We solve others' problems for them, take on their debts, cover up their mistakes. We think this is kindness. No, this is arrogance. Do you think that they can't cope without you? That you are smarter and stronger? You deprive them of the right to your life experience and lessons. Stop being a shoulder to cry on, a crutch, and a life preserver. Let people drown or swim on their own. Your job is not to drag them along, but to be an example of how to live differently, independently and with dignity. Step 15. Enjoy your peace. The most important thing. When you cut out everything toxic, a huge amount of mental energy was released. Energy that you spent on anxiety, excuses, sycophancy. Now direct it at yourself. What do you want? What to learn? Where to go? What to create? The silence in your head is not emptiness. It is a space for creativity, for your true self. You no longer wait for approval. You are not afraid of condemnation. You just live by your own rules, in harmony with yourself. This is a very same Stoic ataraxia, equanimity of spirit, the highest good. It cannot be bought. It can only be earned, with the courage to say no, readiness to be misunderstood, an ironclad respect for yourself. Your path is just beginning, but each of your conscious steps is a brick in the wall of your fortress. A fortress that will never be taken by other people's expectations, manipulations, and fears. You are not just learning to refuse. You are learning to live. You've come a long way. First, the bitter realization. Then the first, timid attempts to say no. Perhaps you've lost a few acquaintances, and some relationships have fallen apart. And now you're standing on the threshold of a new life. It seems unusually quiet, and you can enjoy the silence, or you can be scared. The final part is about how to live in this new reality. How not to break down and not step on the same rake. How to turn protecting your boundaries into the art of living happily and consciously. Step 16. Turn vigilance into a habit. Setting boundaries is not a one-time event. It is a constant practice, like brushing your teeth. Every day, the world will unobtrusively try to seep into your space. A colleague with an urgent question after hours. A relative with unsolicited advice. A stranger demanding your time and attention. Your task is to maintain gentle vigilance. Not paranoia, but a calm, confident sense of your limits. Before you automatically say yes, pause. Ask yourself, do I really want this? Does this correspond to my principles? Does this disturb my peace? This 2-second pause is your main shield. Step 17. Learn to accept the consequences. This is the most difficult, but also the most liberating step. You did everything right. You politely refuse, refer to your principles, remain calm. But the person was still offended. He left, cut you out of his life. And here your old self will beg you, catch up with him, apologize, return everything to the way it was. Don't do it. Accept this outcome with dignity. You were not responsible for his request. You are not responsible for his reaction. His feelings are his territory. You should not control the emotions of other adults. Accepting this fact is the key to true freedom. Sometimes the price of your peace of mind is one person in your circle. It's a fair price. Step 18. Polish your no. No is not always a harsh and abrupt denial. It's a whole spectrum of reactions. A true master masters all its shades. A soft no. Thank you for thinking of me, but I have to decline. I have other priorities. A no, an alternative. I can't do it for you, but I can show you how if you have time. A hard no. No. This is not up for discussion. Ideal for cases when your no has already been challenged. A no. Silence. Simply not responding to intrusive messages or offers that you have already rejected for yourself. You are not obliged to respond to every challenge. Different situations require different numbers. Practice them. Hone them. Let your no be clear, distinct, and irrefutable. Step 19. Create recovery rituals. Defending boundaries is energy-consuming. Even if you did everything right, there may still be a residue inside. It is important not to drag this burden along with you further. Create your own personal rituals that will signal to the psyche, the incident is over. I am safe. I can relax. This could be 15 minutes of silence over a cup of chai after a difficult conversation, a walk in the park without a phone, physical exercise to relieve tension, a diary where you pour out all your thoughts and close the page. This is not weakness. This is mental hygiene. This is how you prevent burnout and save strength for future battles. Step 20. Become an example. When you change, you will inevitably become a beacon for others. Your calm, your confidence, your unwillingness to participate in intrigues and gossip will be noticeable. Someone will turn away, frightened by your strength, but someone will definitely come up and ask, how do you do it? How did you learn to live like this? Share your experience. Without pride, without edification. Just as a story of your transformation. Perhaps, with your example, you will save someone else from living as a convenient person. Result, your new map of the world. Previously, your internal map of the world was drawn up by other people. Their desires, their needs, their expectations were marked on it. You simply lived on this alien territory, trying not to disturb anyone. Now you are the cartographer of your life. You draw your mountains and your rivers. You determine where the borders of your state are, and you have every right not to let anyone in there. The philosophy of Stoicism has given you tools. Clarity of mind, acceptance of the inevitable, concentration on your own, and the courage to remain yourself in spite of everything. This is not the path to loneliness. This is a path to yourself. And having found yourself, you will inevitably attract those who will appreciate the real you, not for what you can give, but for who you are. Your fortress is built. The gates are locked. Now you can safely go outside to enjoy the world without fear of being robbed. You are safe because your main stronghold is not the walls, but your unwavering will and self-respect. This is the real victory. Victory over chaos, over fear, over other people's expectations. Victory that no one will ever take away from you. You are no longer a victim. You are a stoic, master of your destiny. Now live.